What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH. Ava is scrambling at this point. Like, Ava is trying any and everything to rid herself of Nicholas, get ahead of this thing, get all of this mess under control. And every left and right, there's a problem. Every time she turns around. Um, because she pretty much told Austin, she said, listen, we need to move this body. Like, we need to go move Nicholas right now. And Austin was like, for fucking what? Austin was like, Nicholas is fine where he is. What we need to move his ass for? Ava is scared at this point because as much as she gave a good speech to Elizabeth, she don't trust Elizabeth not to go and snitch and whatever. The last thing, she can't put all her eggs in one basket. She can't. You know what I'm saying? Because she know how Elizabeth is. She has a conscience, and that's one thing Ava can't stand sometimes is people with a conscience. Ava said, hell no. She said, nah, we gotta get that body today. She said, before the cops come swarm this bitch. So before they could move the body, of course, Spencer comes barging in wanting to know what happened between, Ava and Nicholas the night before. Because he pretty much figured Nicholas would confront her. And she was like, pretty much, Nicholas done left town. She said Nicholas more than likely left town, probably even left the country. Because he was worried about Nicholas, fighting him for the custody or whatever. And she was like, I don't think you have to worry about that. Like, he done left town, probably left the country. You ain't got to deal with that no more. So Spencer was, like, looking a little odd, like, so his father just left and didn't say goodbye, didn't say anything. I mean, I get it. But at the same time, it's not really unusual because him and Spencer's last visit didn't go so well. You know what I'm saying? It got pretty tense and heated. So if Nicholas were to leave town, I wouldn't doubt that he wouldn't say goodbye. But Ava was good though. She laid that shit on thick with Spencer to convince him that Nicholas just left and to leave it alone and stuff like that. But Spencer got a text, so he had to bounce. Even Austin was like, "Oh, you handled that well." He said, "You did a good job." She had me convinced. um, so Ava was like, "Yeah, we need to move this body." Austin said, "Hell no." Austin was like, "We cannot move this body." At the end of the day, I agree with Austin. I mean, it's the middle of the day. You got staff running around Windermere. Look at Spencer. He just barged into the house. It's the middle of the day. Now is not the time to be moving no body where anybody can just stumble upon you. Moving a whole person. So I definitely agree with him on that. And Ava even had to agree that he had a point. Like, they can't move a body. They're going to have to wait till it get dark. Then, try and move it. So she decided to just get ready and go to Portia and Curtis' wedding or whatever. And Austin, a little sneaky ass, talking about, oh, nah, you go to the wedding. I'm going to stay behind. She said, no, bitch, you're coming with me. Ava said, she said, we're bound together because of this. She said, we're bonded together because of this, but I don't trust your ass. You're coming with. I said, I know that shit right, Ava. Because as much as Austin been down for her and he helped her out, I wouldn't trust his ass either. Like, no, sir, you coming with me. I don't give a damn what you talking. Let's go. Put on your good suit and let's go. Get your tux. Come on. Suit, tux, whatever the hell you want to wear. Let's go. You got to come on. Like, I don't blame her for that one. But it's going to be a hot mess. I'm pretty sure when they probably go find Nicholas or whatever, he probably not going to be there because I don't believe they're going to kill off Nicholas. I mean, he's a Cassadine. You know what I mean? Cassadines, they done killed off and brought back. So I don't believe for a second Nicholas' ass is done. So anyway, moving on from that, Elizabeth is pretty much straddling the fence right now because her conscience is getting the better of her. She don't know what to do. Her and Finn were wondering where Nicholas went or whatever with all his Cassadine money. I'm like, if you only knew. So she's pretty much straddling the fence. She don't know what to do. On the one hand, she feel like she should turn herself in because she feels guilty. You know what I mean? And she doesn't want to try to, as much as she don't like Esme or, Esme is of the devil. She don't want to do to Esme what her parents did to me. Try to suppress that girl memories. Try, all that. She don't want to do all that. But on the one hand, she feels like it's not fair. For her to sit here and take the brunt of everything while Nicholas is, MIA. She feels like that's not right. And on the top of that, she's basically telling Finn, let me handle this on my own. Because the last time, she tried to handle the situation with her parents on her own, he interfered in that. She doesn't want him interfering in this. And he doesn't agree with her decision, but he was like, all right, I'm going to let you take care of this yourself, because she don't want him trying to play the hero. And I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, he should listen this time. You know what I'm saying? I understand he wants to be her knight in shining armor, but let her handle this shit. You know what I mean? If she blows up her life, she blows up her life. Whatever, it's her life to blow up. You know, whatever she decides to do. I'm 50-50 on it. On her turning herself in versus her not turning herself in. I'm very 50-50. Because on the one hand, Nicholas is MIA right now, so it's like, this might as well keep it quiet. But on the other hand, things have a way of getting out. We don't know if Esme's memory is going to come back. That could stir up some problem. Either way, this shit could come back on Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? So it's best that she gets ahead of this thing right now. So even though I'm 50-50, I'm leaning more towards her coming forward right now because I think that's what's in her best interest. That way, if she comes forward and she takes her punishment, whatever the judge may dole out, at least it's behind her. She doesn't have to worry about this popping back up again. And being fearful that, oh, I could go to prison. You already served whatever time the judge deemed you to serve. So it's already, it's done. You know what I mean? So if Nicholas pops back up, he's going to have to deal with his share, you know what I'm saying, of the blame. He's going to have to take care of his end. You know what I mean? So I think she may want to get ahead of this thing. Tell Scott every little detail, see if he could mount a defense or if the DA's office is willing to cut some sort of deal or some sort of plea. But I think she should definitely get ahead of this right now. So anyway, moving on from that, I just don't feel bad for Willow. I'm sorry, I just don't. Like, I'm sitting there watching their scenes and I'm just very nonchalant about the shit. 'Cause I'm like, I really don't care. At the end of the day, she did this to herself. Like, not the cancer part, of course, but not that part. But delaying her treatment, she did that. I could understand her reasoning behind it, but it was still like, yeah, you should have. You know what? We got a nice day out today. We finally got like a little warm weather today, and here go everybody with the dirt bikes and shit. I'm like, go back in the house. You know how people do once the weather, start clearing up. Everybody want to be outside. Here they go, dirt bikes and motorcycles. So yeah, I'm like, I really don't feel bad for Willow at this point. I don't. I just don't. And I feel like her having that conversation with Michael is just. Do we really have to have that conversation right now? She talking about, oh, I want to talk about what life is gonna look like for you once I'm dead. I'd be like, ma'am. I don't want to talk about that. If I was Michael, I would have been like, listen, we don't need to talk about that. And Michael really did. Like, she talking about, oh, because I don't want you to push yourself into working and this, that, and the third. I want you to just, be there for the kids, be emotionally there for the kids. I'm like, well, he got a support system behind him. He got nannies. So, I get where she's coming from, though. She doesn't want her death to make him grow distant and isolate himself from the kids because they're going to need him, if she does die or when she die, whatever, them kids are going to need him more than ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be their sole parent. So I totally get where she's coming from. But Michael didn't really want to talk about that. He said, he's not giving up hope. He's still, going to cling to hope that they, a miracle comes through. So basically Willow wants to get married immediately, pretty much on her deathbed. She wants to marry Michael right now. Okay, you want to have a deathbed wedding? Knock yourself out. I feel like Nina just need to fall back. You know what I'm saying? Nina needs to just let that girl be because Nina done went in her room and of course she was met with attitude. Here go Willow. What do you want? I'm like, oh my God. Like, girl, you are dying and you still want to get this lady attitude. That's how you want to die? Just hating Nina? I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't got no real reason to like Nina. I'm not even going to lie to you. She doesn't. And I can't blame her attitude towards her, but it's like you got bigger fish to fry right now than your dislike of Nina. It's like, let that shit slide for a moment. But I mean, I'm not even shocked by it in a way because it's like she has every reason in the world not to like this woman because Nina was horrible to her. Like, let's be real. Nina straight bullied that girl. Like, she was despicable. So I can't totally blame Willow for, hating on her, but it's just like, you on your deathbed right now. You got bigger things to worry about than her. So Nina, brought her a necklace or whatever and apologized for all the stem cells and stuff not working and her not being a match, and she wanted to give her the necklace, I guess, for Madeline or whatever that belonged to Madeline, I guess. And Willow didn't want the shit. You know, Willow just wasn't trying to pay Nina no attention, so Nina just left it on the dresser or whatever on the table. That's why I feel like Nina just need to fall back a little bit. You know, even though her daughter is pretty much weeks away from death, I could kind of understand why she's trying to at least get a little bit of time in with her and repent. But you know, what can you do? She doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't want to see you. It is what it is. So Sonny pretty much trying to distract her by letting Nina know, like, listen, let's go to the wedding. But Nina didn't feel like they should or she should go because they feel like they're gonna miss the wedding anyway because she would have to go home and change. But Sonny was like, nah, I had your dress brought to you just in case you change your mind and go. And I feel like she should go, you know, take her mind off of things, you know what I'm saying? Get you a little happiness up in there, you know, get your mind off the shit. You know, then go home and get you a little wee wee from the little man and go to bed. And wake up the next morning and do it all over again. Minus the wedding part, but get you some more wee wee. Let me stop being crass on a Friday. Damn, I said a Sunday. That tells you where my mind is today. It's been a long week. Portia was looking gorgeous. I ain't gonna hold you. Portia was looking fine as fucking wine. Even though I have a feeling this wedding might not take place, but old girl was looking good. I said, go ahead. And I thought it was nice of her because since Stella not gonna be at the wedding, she was like, we got another place, you know, empty seat at the head of the table, you know, at the head table or whatever, I guess at the reception or whatever. So she allowed, you know, Trina to invite Spencer. I thought that was nice of her because she was like, you know, I'm not no big fan of his. I don't love him or nothing like that. You know, I ain't no big fan of his, but, you know, you can invite him or whatever. I thought that was big of her because she wanted this day to not only be special for her and Curtis, but for Trina, you know, for it to be special for her too. So since Spencer was special to her, she was like, you know, invite him. I thought that was pretty dope. I still think it's fucked up that she lying to that girl about Curtis potentially being her dad. I think that's pretty messy. So anyway, Jordan is pretty much, you know, insinuating about a truth or whatever to TJ because TJ's starting to suspect something ain't right. TJ was like, you know, he tried to get Stella to, you know, rally and go to the wedding and stuff, but she won't budge or whatever. And he's believing it's more than just the illness with her. And Curtis, you know, when he went to go see Curtis and whatnot, Curtis sitting there talking about, oh, I wish your mom would have came to the wedding. I don't understand why people get married to somebody else and want their ex at the wedding. Like, especially if y'all not on great terms. And Curtis and Jordan are not on great terms. Like, they're on okay terms, depending on the day. But it's like, why would you want your ex at the wedding? And why would an ex want to come to the wedding? Who the hell want to sit there in the middle of the aisle and watch their ex marry some heifer? Hell no. Absolutely not. I wouldn't. Like, honestly, I wouldn't go to no damn wedding of my ex. Like, absolutely not. I love the moment, though, between Curtis, Drew, and Marshall. And I love how Marshall pretty much told Drew, like, listen, if you notice anything off about me at the wedding or I start, you know, looking like I'm about to have an episode, he said, just get me out of there, you know, because he don't want to ruin the wedding. And I love how Laura popped up and stuff to officiate the nuptials and whatnot. And I love the little moment between Taggart and Curtis, how he, you know, pretty much said, you know, Curtis is a good man and all that. I just feel bad, though, because they both heading for a potential fall. Like, you know, I can't imagine what Taggart's reaction gonna be if it comes out that, you know, Trina's not his daughter after all. That's pretty fucked. And I feel like Jordan need to stay out of this. Like, she popped up at the, you know, the church or whatever to go see Portia. I feel like Jordan need to stay out of it. Like, just let that go. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Jordan definitely need to let it go. Like, Portia doesn't feel the need to tell the truth. I wash my hands of it if I was her. I'm just saying. But anyway, I love that moment though when Spencer came to the wedding and he was looking at Trina. Like, honestly, I love the way Spencer was looking at Trina. I said, yep, y'all next. Y'all gonna have a wedding soon. Hopefully not too soon though, because they are young. Like, but you know how circumstances might push them together. But yeah, back to the Jordan thing real quick. I definitely feel like Jordan shouldn't have popped up to go talk to Portia. I felt like she done said everything she could to Portia, and she just needs to leave it alone. Like, you know what I mean? Let it come out another way. I wouldn't be responsible for none of that mess, because you know how Curtis did. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comments, let me know what y'all thought, and I will see y'all all later. Have a great weekend. Peace.